All right, so today we're going to do the same thing we do every stream. We're going to mine some blocks. And as you can see in the title, I released the latest version, the latest and greatest of block mining simulation game. The version that's released now is basically identical to this. I actually, in this version, just today I made a change to make it so that when you create a new pickaxe, when you craft things, you get a few more. Because I found it was the mechanics were not super balanced. And I guess I'm also trying out a earlier stream today. I always try to do them earlier, but I seem to never manage to get around to it. So now that I finished the long laundry list of features, like the J and I support and the I think the window resizing, that was really big. Like the fact that I can do this now, and then it actually compensates. That's I think that's pretty huge. Just basic usability features. Now that stuff is implemented, then I can I'll focus on I need a new way of kind of like rendering the UI so that it'll basically, I'll start off with basically the same UI that I have here, but it'll be a bit more intelligent, so that first I'll start by just trying to recreate this and then make it so that you can actually change the size of the inventory area. So right now all that stuff is hard coded. Looks like my video is lagging. This might be a bit too overpowered. Mining things too fast. Let's start a new world. Oh, our first chatter of the evening. Aiden says hi. How's it going? Tonight we're just mining some blocks. This is pretty much the same version of the game that I had the other day. Worked on some other stuff today. Doing good. How are you? Today I did a bit of filming. I'm working on another video. I'll keep it a surprise. Hopefully this one shouldn't take too long. I think I finished basically like half of the filming today. Then I'll do the other half tomorrow, and then I'll be editing. Yeah, I really do need to add a diagonal movement key. I could do it for like going up, but I don't know. I'm running out of do Q and E for up, but for down, I don't know what I use. So it looks like the numbers are consistently quite a bit lower for this stream. I wonder if it's like, it uses probably AI to figure out like if you stream at a slightly different time, maybe it like doesn't have the people prepared or something. Maybe I need to keep talking because that's what the AI will listen to what I'm talking about and then find people who want to join that conversation. Oh, there's one viewer that came in. Maybe that is what I need to do. I wonder if that would also be like a good hack. Like if the new equivalent of like SEO hacking, like it used to be that you could take a whole bunch of keywords and you could do keyword stuffing. I wonder if you could do like concept stuffing. So like if you want to make sales, you just talk about how if I talk right now about like how I want to spend so much money on an indie video game and pledge to a Kickstarter campaign, then the AI will listen to that and then go find people who want to pledge to Kickstarter campaigns for small indie block mining simulation games. Then I could just repeat that over and over again. There have been a few weird modern examples of that. I think there was a pretty simple one in with community posts for a while. There was like a week where if you just put every possible keyword in a community post, then it would just show it to like an insane number of people, and everyone was exploiting that for a good week or so. Nope, looks like it didn't work. Still only 3 viewers. There's a big ore vein over here. Oh, we're down to 0 concurrent viewers. Interesting. That's the first time I've seen that. I also turned off the reactions. Maybe that changed. something. Maybe reactions are actually important. Someone says, yo, what's up? Not too much. It's a pretty non-lively stream. The numbers are pretty low. So thank you for breaking the silence. Yeah, my streams are not super exciting, so it's not too surprising. I'll keep doing the same thing that I'm doing now, probably until the Kickstarter's done, and then step back and collect some data. It's been looking at like the stats on my live streams. It was actually better when I first started. It was like, I think the first stream, that was like one of the best. I had like 40 concurrent viewers, and then it's kind of like it's plateaued. It's like asymptotically gone down. But I also think it's streaming is like a totally different medium, and I think usually when I look back at the stats, I lose. It's always like 2 or 3 subscribers on every stream. Like it'll, because after I finish it, it goes out, pushes out to people. But in a way, I kind of, maybe I'm wrong, but I kind of think that having content that loses subscribers is actually possibly better for the channel overall, because it means that like someone watched a piece of content and then they're like, I really don't like the way this person talks or something like that. So it'd be better to like have someone who can someone who will watch anything that I put out. Yeah, it may depend on the time of day as well. This was also an earlier stream. I usually end up doing it later. But then someone, a few people have said that it'd be better if I did them earlier, which I agree it would be better. Honestly, a new channel for streaming would be better. Yeah, I know there's they say like different, if it's a different audience, different channel, but in a lot of cases I've seen people create a new channel and they do a bunch of work to build it up, and it's hard starting from scratch because there's no data. But I think it's like, unless I had a ton of money to spend on production, I think I'll probably just dump everything on the same channel, even if there's some people that don't like some of it. And like, I mean, theoretically the algorithm will hopefully eventually get good enough that it'll just like, it'll be able to classify the content. So like I do some software videos, and then I also do hardware stuff. And I would hope that YouTube is smart enough to like kind of test. And I think it does do that. It like sends it out to a limited audience to kind of classify it first, to figure out who should it push it out to in order to broaden the audience. But oh, and by the way, you motivated me to learn all of GNU core utils. I definitely need a refresher on some LOL, and it would come in handy. That's good. And now that I have the complete guide, you can just sit down and you can watch my entire playlist for I think it's like 2 hours of shorts now. You can just sit down and learn all of core utils in one sitting. Oh, there we go. Concurrent viewers is at 5 now. Yeah, I think it's a bootstrapping problem. I didn't talk very much in the stream, so then the views, the concurrent viewers went low, and then so no one was chatting here, so I didn't have anything to say. Seven? Oh, it says 5 here. I jinxed it. Oh, it still says 5 for me. Oh well, I think it's also my guess is that YouTube is probably still like I think YouTube has way more data on my channel for videos and shorts and stuff, and very little for streaming. So it probably has to like, it's taking my existing audience and then feeding it the live streams. And I think, but it's limited. So it starts off with like I've noticed it seems to be like capped at around like 10, and then it'll slowly go up sometimes. So my guess is that eventually I'll probably start noticing that the streams will stop losing subscribers, and then they'll gain like 1 or 2 eventually. And at that point, that's probably when the algorithm is like converged to know like who is the ideal person to show the streams to. If I continue streaming, I don't know. I'm still not committed on it. Just it's one of those things that like, it seems like I should be doing this. Because in the future, everyone will be online all the time. It'll be illegal to be not live streaming. Humans often imitate what other successful humans do. Would you say you have more or fewer of these imitation genes? That's an interesting question. Do I have more of the imitation gene? I'd say I definitely like, there's a lot of like crowd following things that I explicitly don't do. I would say like in terms of like business people and like intellectual leaders and stuff like that. I'm always I love watching documentaries on like back in the day I learned a lot about Elon Musk and what he did and stuff like that. This is way before Elon was popular, and like every successful political leaders and stuff like that. I'm always trying to vacuum up that knowledge to know what those people are doing. So I always want to like know what's working. But yeah, I mean, I use it as kind of like a starting point. So imitation maybe wouldn't be how I'd describe it. I use it for like brainstorming. But if I don't really agree with an idea, I like to just do my own thing. And then sometimes it's also interesting just to do something that like nobody does, for which there's no data. It can like, even though you might not get something useful out of it, you learn a little bit more about like the global optimum. It's like gives you more data on the solution space. Sometimes if you do something really unique, you get like a really unexpected result. IMO short form content is getting more popular due to the unfortunate epidemic of scrolling. People make a living out of shorts and no long form vids. The revenue on shorts is pretty low. I guess the successful model there, like my shorts, my Linux command line shorts, those are so much work. Like it's multiple days to make one of those. And I mean, actually I've been putting more work into them lately. I know people do like the recent ones more, but the reach they've been getting is a lot lower. Like I mean, they only get like 10 or 20,000 views, which is that's like $1 in revenue. So it's really not, for 3 days of work to make $1 in revenue. That's why I kind of dropped down to one of them a month. But I think the success model, like there's a lot of, the famous streamers just have like outtakes and stuff. They're things that like moments that'll take them like a couple minutes to make. And, get like millions of views. That might be a successful model. And I think it's still the long form videos, that's where the ad revenue is. Short form vids are easier to gain subs compared to streams, since there are more people on shorts, TikTok, compared to YT streams and Twitch. Yeah, there's the thing is like streaming is another kind of different media. I think it's the whole like social media success game. It's like it's an all around like personality sales game. Like people will seek out people who are similar to them or interesting. And I think what people are ultimate, like the higher order thing is the different content formats are a means to an end, but ultimately people want to see like all kinds of different facets of a person. So people want to see everything. People want to see shorts and streams, and because if you only have like scripted video, people wonder like, what is this person like to talk to in person? And stream is the only place you can really figure that out. Yeah, TikTok is a weird platform. One of my first video I uploaded, it got like shadow banned or something, I thought, and then it got like 0 views, and I was like, oh, I guess I got shadow banned. And then I uploaded a second one. Actually, it was the same one that's on. I have my YouTube channel about magnetic core memory, and that one got like 2.4 million views. And so I was like, oh, I guess I'm not shadow banned. And then from that one video, I got like 20,000, like 24,000 followers. And then I switched. That was about when I started the Linux Shorts series, and those videos have all gotten like 1,000 views. So I think there's maybe one of them that got a few thousand views on TikTok. But my TikTok game has not really been good lately, and yeah, I mean, I need to make better content for the platform, but it's just so many hours in a day. But I have a little bit more free time in the near future, so that's why I'm making a new video today. I think having shorts dedicated to Linux is more limited in audience, so that may be the reason. Yeah, I definitely, yeah, I do agree with you. I also think that it's kind of it's a very, I think it's also, on those platforms, it can also be difficult to break into a genre where there's like, there's nothing to bootstrap with. Like there's not really a lot of highly informative educational content on TikTok at all. Even though I think there's like, I think there's demand for it, but people don't know that they want it, and so there's no kind of like there's no algorithm rabbit hole. So on YouTube, you could like start off on tutorials for something, and you could go down the rabbit hole, but there's nothing. It's almost like you're building an island. So I think it could mean that if you put a lot of content in that, you could actually capture a big audience, and then like you would be the only person in that niche. And I mean, there is some Linux content, but most of it's like there's almost no informational value to it. It's just like kind of like really silly memes and stuff, which is fine. And I mean, it makes sense because like people don't want to watch educational content. They want to be entertained. To do good on TikTok, content needs to be brain rot. Yeah, I mean, like if I had like Skibbity Toilet, like Linux, I could do like the toilet command or something like that, and then put some like meme music and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff that it would have to be. But at the same time, it's it's about, I'd have to actually make that content, and then, but do I actually want to make that content? And then the question is like, what am I doing with my life if I'm making Skibbity Toilet Linux command videos, and maybe they get like 1 million views, but like how does 1 million views even translate to money? Thoughts on build root? I'm not familiar with that. Build root. And enlighten me. What does build root do? I'm going to be making my netcat for Flipper 0 soon. Interesting. Yeah, I've read and heard a lot about Flipper Zero, but never got around to playing with it. Buildroot is a collection of scripts and makefiles that simplifies the process of building a Linux environment for embedded systems. Yeah, I've done a little bit of embedded, but I mean, as much as I learn, as much as I talk about Linux and stuff, I've only compiled Linux like handful of times. I've like done some basic stuff with like enable a module or something. But in terms of all the advanced stuff like Linux kernel contributions, I'm pretty far from that. You can also make cross compilation toolchain. Okay. Yeah, I went through Linux from scratch, and for that you had to make a cross compiler with GCC. Remember the first time I was doing that, that was when I found out that I had a bug, or I had the memory. I had a bad stick of RAM that was flipping bits, and every time I would try and compile the cross compiler, it would crash with random errors. It was not great. Gentoo recently made a new bin repo, so I might switch to it from Arch. I'm still thinking if it's worth my time. Linux is free if you don't care about your time. Yeah, I've heard that catchphrase, but personally, I tried Arch back in the day, but nowadays I'm just like, you know what, I'll just use Ubuntu. And I mean, there's I guess in order to actually put out content and stuff, I pretty much focus on debugging within the context of whatever I'm making a piece of content about at the moment. And I usually try to just if I have weird bugs that are annoying me, I try to just I don't configure anything. And honestly, in the last few years, I found Linux has been pretty productive. I don't it basically just works. Actually with the Ubuntu 24, I have noticed quite a few I think with the NVIDIA drivers, I have having some weird lag problems where when I open up the browser, it lags for no reason. But I'm like, you know what, I'll just ignore this for now, and then it'll get fixed eventually. I feel like Ubuntu's reputation has been tarnished for many reasons. Snap Store, BS. Yeah, I know people hate the Snap Store. I don't even think I've used. I've seen a few times sudo snap install stuff, but I've never actually used the Snap Store before, and I'm not even really aware of controversy surrounding it. I'm sure there's some there's probably commercial stuff people are angry about, or maybe some data tracking stuff, but I accept that to actually pay to develop software, that some people are, I can't fault people for trying to make money off of the software. problem is that it distributes mostly open source packages. Yeah, this Snap Store is closed source, and they used to have spyware. Yeah, it's my position on that is like I completely sympathize with anyone who wants to like vehemently hate that stuff and say like, nope, I'm not gonna use that, it's spyware. But at the same time, I also am like, you know, as long as they're not like actually putting like viruses and stealing data and stuff like that. But if they have some like kind of default check options that say like, I agree to allow you to track me or something, like you can, like if you're one of the people who really cares about the security, like on Linux, you can still get around it. There's some way to like hack things, or I guess for the Snap Store itself being closed source, I don't know. I don't even know if that would affect me, because I don't think I'm not aware that I have used the Snap Store. I've only ever installed, there's only been a few things that I've needed to install that like required me to do sudo snap install. That should not be a question though. You mean like about tracking you? Snap Store not being used, still there, and default apps use it. We should port it Arch, which might have to do more research on that. Yeah, the thing is like, I mean, people like I sympathize with people that want to like, you know, completely remove all tracking, like, you know, block all ads and stuff like that. But at the same time, it takes money to make software. So I'm kind of like, I'm okay. Basically, I'm okay with like capitalists trying to do capitalism with constraints. Like they can't like do illegal stuff. Like kind of like I mean, in the real world now, you're starting to see like capitalism works, but it only works with guardrails, which are called laws, and we're starting to see the evolution of that. Like, you know, when you go to a car dealer now, there's like, you know, it used to be just the price of the car, and then they added like these other weird fees. So like they'll advertise, you know, through the entire process, they're talking about one price, and then the final price is like all these inspection fees and just like random made up fees and stuff. And now when you buy a car, there's like a list of like 30 different fees that you have to pay. And I mean, it's basically just like, they're just lying to you. They're saying it's one price, and then when you go to the checkout to buy it, it's something totally different. And as long as like, I mean, like the stuff that's going on with Microsoft now, with like that whole thing with Microsoft, what is it, Recall? That AI that like spies on literally everything you do and produce, like that stuff is just, that's insane. I mean, that's even worse. That's even more like a privacy, but also intellectual property theft issue. Like imagine if we just allow Microsoft to do whatever it wants with that. What they'll do is they'll just make it so every single input and output, so like every keystroke you put into the computer is fed directly into an AI to train the AI model, and then every output you get on the computer also goes into the AI model. So like a lawyer working in a law office typing documents and then like working on a legal case, like if the legal case goes into the AI, it's basically just this like kind of global surveillance system that just soaks up everything. Like that kind of stuff is I think is awful. But to a limited extent, like people trying to make a bit of money and like trying trying to advertise to people or track people a bit, as long as it's like, as long as if you're a person that really cares, if you can get out of it, I think it's okay. Copilot. Message retracted. Copilot is sugar-coated backdoor. Yeah, I do really wonder about all those AI models and what's happening to the data that you put into them. It's like what AI will, I'm sure what Microsoft will do is they'll basically just use it to like what we may end up having is every single human output, every single thing that humans produce will be filtered through an AI, and then the AI will just steal all of your human outputs, and then humans will be prevented from making money from their own, the fruits of their own labor. I think that's what's coming. There's probably going to be some blowback about that, because at the moment that's already happening, where AI is just used to launder. It's basically a way to launder intellectual property theft, and I'm sure that companies deep down know this, and they're like, man, we can make so much money. Eventually this won't work forever, but we can make so much money at this until they catch on and make this illegal. And I think we have to go through that whole cycle where companies are going to try to do that. Microsoft is going to use, recall to, they're going to train it on some lawyer's work, and then there'll be some huge legal case about it. And then people will be like, hey, maybe we shouldn't allow this. It's nice talking to you. I have to go. All right, thanks for stopping by. Oh, you can't see me. I'm in the dark. Yeah, that's a bit better. Astro says, hello, Mr. Elder Software. How's it going? Today we're mining some blocks. Same thing we do every day. How are you doing? I'm doing good. I have an exam on computer organization and architecture in a few hours. So I'm debating whether I should get some last minute studying or watch this. Honestly, I would say probably you're better off studying. It's not a lot of, it's a pretty low quality live stream, to be honest. I guess maybe if you've had a long day, it can be good to like space out for a few minutes and then get into studying, but yeah, I think the way you study is like maybe a bit more important than like how long you study. I always found a good way to is like when studying got really boring is like I'd have a desire to just hang out with people and socialize, but if you could find a social group of people who like you can like socialize about the thing you're studying, so you can just like not necessarily quiz each other, but just like go meet some friends who are studying the same course and then just have a social conversation about the topic. And I find that's a good way to find out blind spots too. And it kind of like, it doesn't really feel like studying. All right, so sounds good. Sounds like a good choice. Have a good day. goes Game Studios. Hey Robert, hope you're having a nice day. Yeah, it's a pretty good day. Got some progress. Did some worked on a video. Got some stuff filmed. I was able to do a live stream for the sake of it. I got going reasonably early. It's not the most action-packed live stream. I think I'm gonna have to change up the live stream content. The block mining is not. It is. I find it is kind of useful for playtesting, but it also is pretty boring because the game is doesn't have much in it, and I need to develop more. But it takes time to develop stuff, and it's kind of. I don't really have the setup for doing the development on stream right now. And it's also hard to develop on stream. I'm much more of a single focus person. Trying to talk to chat is mentally taxing. So that's why I just zone out and play this mindless game. It works pretty well for that. One of your old live sessions, I asked you to give me advice because I want to start using Linux for pen testing. You said that you might make a video about it later. Oh, did I? I don't even recall that exact conversation. Yeah, pen testing. Well, I guess at this point it'll be a while. If I was going to make that video, it'd be a while. Yeah, you said pen testing. Pen testing is not really my expertise. There's probably better people to watch for out there on that, but I don't even know what the state of the art is now. I know there's a lot of like automated tools for well, there's the YouTube channel Cyber Weapons Lab. I think the guy, he stopped doing the channel because there was some kind of drama behind it or something. But that channel, like if I was to really focus on pen testing, Cyber Weapons Lab channel, that I think had a lot of good topics, like to make yourself aware of the tools to use and stuff. In terms of like, Linux core utils for pen testing, I don't know if that's really that applicable. I would understand pen testing is mostly like, external, like trying to get in from the outside, and most of the kind of the Linux command stuff I cover. In fact, I actually haven't covered many network tools. Like I would want to do like some more videos on netstat and stuff, and ping and ARP and stuff. And I actually don't know those tools as well as some other people do. Yeah, I think it's all in the same kind of vein. There are a few like security implications to some of the Linux commands that I've covered. Like the mknud command has some. You can use it to escape a chroot environment. Of course you can, and then you can go into like application stuff like SQL injection. That's a big deal. And then like getting into advanced SQL injection stuff, that takes you into learning about like more about database administration than any kind of Linux type stuff. And of course now we've got all these like advanced threat analysis tools and stuff, AI-powered things that AI-powered firewalls that like have state in them and figure out what you're doing. And I actually wouldn't know the first thing about what is the state of the art right now in like AI-powered firewalls. But if I was focusing on pen testing, I'd learn about how good are those kinds of things now, because they probably are pretty good. Yeah, I guess if you want a list of like Linux commands to learn, I would say the IP command. That there's a lot to that command. The SS command. SS is, what does it stand for? Something sockets. You can use that to check the. I can't remember if that's in the net tools package or not, but whatever package it's in, that would be it'd be a good idea to just learn like everything in that package. And then of course IPv6 is a good thing to learn about. Apparently there's a lot of security vulnerabilities around people set stuff up securely to work with IPv4, and then they'll forget an IPv6 firewall, and or maybe they set up a firewall rule, but they only make it work well for IPv4. So knowing about that stuff would be good for pen testing. I apologize for the inconvenience. Oh, it's no inconvenience. I have no payment option. Live in a third world country. Oh, that's no problem. Yeah, I'm happy to help. I'll invite more people to come sub to the channel. Your content is very valuable. Oh, thank you for the kind words. Any even social recommendations and stuff that still helps get more eyeballs on the channel. And I'm totally in support of if anyone can't afford it and they can still benefit from the channel without paying anything. That's great. More power to them. Well, I think it might be time to call it a night anyway. I think I proved the point tonight. I changed the balance on how much you get back for mining a few blocks, and I don't know, it makes it feel a bit less too overpowered. So I don't know, I have to tweak those numbers a bit more. Still a pretty minimalist game. The next thing I need to work on is I need to work on how the screen prints stuff. I need to make a more sophisticated model for keeping track of what's actually printed, and like intelligently printing, intelligently only outputting to the screen when there's a necessary change. So I'm not sure if I'll get time to work on that this week, but yeah, I'll probably try and do another stream on Saturday, and then again on Tuesday for the rest of until my Kickstarter is finished, just to get some data. So, all right, see you guys on Saturday.